Okay, we got one person in the building. They're gonna start. I need you to monitor the people that's in the room. Just let me know, is anybody in the room?
You want me to sit down here?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, Black, you man that camera, and let's Brother Lewis man the live. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
How we looking? Anybody in the room?
We got two thus far.
Okay.
First person threw up like 3 thumbs up.
Okay. Salute to the rec mob.
Yes, sir.
Pace. This, I'm gonna lead you in. This is something special right here. I gave you a quick briefing yesterday, a preview of what's going down. I'm here with one of the Nation Islam's, prominent speakers. Can you introduce yourself, brother?
My name is Brother Abdul Haqq Muhammad. I'm the local representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the Muhammad Mosque of Islam, number 25, located here in the city of Newark, New Jersey.
Peace, my brother.
Peace, brother. M.Reck, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Honored to be here, brother.
I'm honored.
Yes, sir.
So, do you want to go right into the questions, or you want to just give? Matter of fact, let's give the people a background of, your work.
Yes, sir.
Thus far.
Well, again, my name is Brother Abdul Haqq Muhammad. Again, I'm the local representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan here in the city of Newark, New Jersey. Muhammad's Mosque, number 25, as a Muslim student and follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We believe in justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. We want freedom. We want a full and complete freedom. We want equality of opportunity. We want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society. We believe in the resurrection of the dead, not a physical resurrection, but a mental resurrection. We believe that the so-called Negroes are most in need of mental resurrection, therefore it will be resurrected first. And furthermore, we believe we are the people of God's choice, as it has been written that God would choose the rejected and the despised. So our primary aim and objective is to enlighten our people, to try to transform their lives, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us a lesson, and he asked the question, what is the duty of the civilized person? And the answer is to teach the uncivilized people who are savage, civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything, of life, love, peace, and happiness. So that's our objective here in the city of Newark, throughout the tri-state area, New York, just trying to enlighten our people, guide them, encourage them to be a better them. That's what we do here in the city of Newark. We're doing it in Chicago, various other cities throughout the United States of America. That's our primary goal, aim, and objective, is to help our people, to guide our people specifically. We know the whole of humanity, needs to be guided, needs to be shaped, needs to be reared, needs to be educated. But we feel, again, as I stated earlier, that the black man and woman, we are in the worst condition, you understand, of all of humanity. So we need to be looked to exclusively. We need some exclusive guidance, you understand, separate from others, because we have a cultural-specific problem. A cultural-specific problem is problems that are specific or restricted to a particular group of people. You understand? So we have issues that people from other ethnicities, they won't understand, because they have not been, they have not suffered, or we have suffered and have not been victimized like we've been victimized. So they won't understand, what it is that we need and how to administer it to us. You follow me? So that's what we're doing, brother. We have again a school here in the city of Newark, New Jersey, the Muhammad University of Islam. It's our second year. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1930, 34 and 35, he was instructed by Master Farrakhan Muhammad to take all of our children from the Detroit public school system, which he was later arrested for doing that, contributing to the delinquency of minors. And he set up the school in the 1930s in Detroit, and the Muhammad University of Islam has been going strong ever since. We have it in Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., Indianapolis. We have it here in the city of Newark, New Jersey, because educating our own children is paramount to our mission and our assignment of reinstituting our people with those particular skills that they need to be free. So, yes, sir.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna get right into it.
Go ahead, brother M.Reck, man.
We live on MRecktv.
Here, brother M.Reck.
And it's an honor for me to be here.
Yes, sir.
Salute to the rec mob.
Yes, sir. Rec mob.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
They in here. Now,
Yes, sir.
how did you become Muslim?
Well, there's a saying in the Holy Quran that we plan and Allah plans to plan, and surely He's the best of planners. So I was just a wayward young brother looking for something better than what was already involved in, which was really nothing. I wasn't the worst of the worst, but I wasn't the best of the best. And again, it seems like they say that the idle time is the devil's workshop. So I was just out in the street, just looking for a better way. I knew what I seen my community doing. I knew it was something better for us, something greater for us, that God did not create us or make us to just hang on the corner and do nothing and to be victimized the way that we've been victimized, to not own the stores in our community. I knew that God had put us here to do something. What he put us here to do, I did not know. I did not have the answers at that time. So just in search of a better me, I discovered this book, Message to the Black Man, written by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1965. And once I read that monumental book and the things that he revealed in there in terms of the reality of God, the reality of the devil, the Muhammad economic blueprint, he began to go to the root of our condition and what we see in terms of the black man and the black woman, why we disrespect ourselves in the manner in which we do it. It began to open my eyes and I became enlightened. And I never turned back. That was, I believe, in the spring or the fall of 2007, 2008. And I've been here ever since, following the guidance of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
Gotcha. What age?
I was 22 at the time.
Wow.
Yes, sir. I'm 33 now.
Okay.
I was 22 at the time. I'm 33 now. This is the best decision that I've ever made. Again, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a very liberal teacher. He's not a cult leader. He's not one that tells you things and then says, believe it because I said it. He teaches us that we are students first and that we should always examine and re-examine and search what we are given, irregardless of who gives it to us. He teaches us against authority worship. And authority worship is when you only believe something that somebody says because they are an authority over you. And many of us, our people, we don't do research. We do what we call he search and she search, meaning that we only regurgitate or quote what somebody else searched, but nothing that we have read and looked into ourselves. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us against that, being gullible, taking things on face value, which most of our people do because of who gives it to us. If they're prominent or they look a certain kind of way, they look like they have money or influence, we automatically think that they're right, which oftentimes isn't the case, and that's why many of our people are misled, you understand, because we let our weakness be our eyes and our ears, and we don't search and examine things diligently as we should, so I've been here ever since, with Brother M.Reck, trying to teach and train our people and guide them, to civilized behavior. So.
Now, how has Islam impacted your life before and after, you converted?
Yeah, again, man, I was a fornicator. I wasn't an avid drug user, but I was doing all of the things that God despises and rejects. As I quoted earlier in the lecture, the book of Proverbs, the 14th chapter, the 12th verse, it says, "There's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death." The book also says that there's a way which seemeth right. No, it says, the book says that every way of a man is right in his own eyes, meaning that we can't see ourselves a lot of times. You understand? And us as a people, particularly black folks, we don't have a proper frame of reference. You understand? Because when you don't have a knowledge of yourself, your God, your culture, your religion, which we have been robbed of, our frame of reference was those who robbed us of those essentials, which was the Caucasian. So he's the standard of what beauty is. He's the standard of what it means to be wise. He's the standard of everything. So white folks have been our reference group because we always reference them, whether it's in law, whether it's in media, whatever it is, we reference them because they have been the dominant group and we have been the subordinate group. You follow me? So they robbed us of the essentials and the power of our being. You follow me? So I was just out there. I didn't know that what I was doing was not right. It seemed right because it was all around me. You follow me? It seemed like I was, doing what it is that I should have been doing. But once I came to Muhammad's Mosque and I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the standard and the criterion that he gave us based on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Bible, the Holy Quran, then I could now look at my actions and I had a standard by which to judge and measure what I was doing. Many of our people don't have that. So I was out there, again, wayward, languishing, you understand, in the wilderness, the hell of North America, looking for a better way. I did not know the way, you understand? But once I came to the mosque, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan showed me a way that I had not known before I met him. You understand? And it wasn't so much about religiosity. It was about truth. It was about justice. It was about freedom. It was about equality. I had heard many things about the Nation of Islam and the brainwashing, but I always thought that Negroes need a brainwash. You understand? Because our minds filled with such falsehood and lies and false ideologies. You understand that we need our brain washed from the evil and the filth that this world has put on us. So when I came here, again, I was not married. I wasn't even thinking about marriage. That wasn't even on my mind, thinking about marriage, thinking about my community. Many of us suffer from what the psychologists call bystander apathy. You understand? And this is why you can see a young girl being as bystanders, and we don't help, and we don't aid, and we don't assist. You understand? Because we feel like it's not our place. So what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. That's how we think, most of us. You understand? In the black community, there's no sense of community, brotherhood, you understand, or sisterhood. So, you know, I was out there with that misconception. I didn't know the right way from the wrong way. I had never been taught. You know, so I thought that what I was doing was right. And once I came under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I had a criteria and a frame of reference. I got married, you know what I mean? I began to do for myself. I got a job, I got my own place. You know, my life began to improve, you know, spiritually, mentally, as well as morally. I no longer did the things that I did before I came to Islam. You find me? I began to eat better. I began to look better. You understand? Because, you know, Islam, it comes after everything else fails. And it begins to transform us from the inside out. So, you know, it's been the best decision that I've ever made. I say that, brother, unbiasedly, without any prejudice, man. It's the best decision that I, as a black man, has made. You understand? You know.
Got you. What is the process of being part of the nation?
The process, brother, is, again, many of us, we are accustomed to living a certain kind of way, brother M.Reck. You follow me? We're not used to people making serious demands on us on a consistent basis. You follow me? And it would be unfair to you just to have you come into the Nation of Islam. We're not an organization, we are a world. But we come in the tradition of organization. Because, you know, we are disorganized people. We need to be organized. And that's one of our detriments, that we're not organized enough. So there is a process, there's an orientation. As you've seen, you came out today, we asked those, you know, how many of you are here for your first time? Do you believe what you heard to be the truth and good for our people? Would you like to accept it? And if the people accept, we don't just, okay, now you in or you're here. No, we have an orientation and a processing class to familiarize you and acclimate you with what we are about, because we want you to make an intelligent decision, a reasoned judgment. We don't just want you to come in here based on emotion. You felt good that day and you just stood up. No, we want you to make a decision that's reasonable. You follow me? So you can know what it is that you are getting into. Because we don't seek to deceive our people. Our people have been deceived long enough. Our aim and objective again is to enlighten our people. You understand? And give our people the guidance that they are so sorely missing. So the process is you come. And we got an orientation process. 6 to 8 weeks. You understand? Where we but we gently guide you. We inform you in terms of what we expect of you. You understand? And what we are about and what we are not about. We always got to clean up a lot of the misconceptions and falsehoods that have been taught to our people about the Nation of Islam. So many of our people come here with a preconceived idea and notion. You understand? About what we are about and oppressing women. And, you understand? All of that which we are not about. Some Muslims are not the best representatives for us as Muslims, but as a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that we are members of the Creator's nation and that we should act accordingly. He says, in the name of Allah requires you as a Muslim to set an example for your lost brothers and sisters who are in the wilderness of North America. So we ought to be examples and not just lip professors where we say one thing and do another. It's not easy trying to be right in the wrong world, but we strive to do it. So it's a process, 6 to 8 week process. You come and we guide you and acclimate you in terms of what we are about, you know, what we teach, what we expect of you. You understand some of the bad habits that you have to shake off. Because you can come to God as you are, but you can't stay as you are. You follow me? You can come to God. All sinners are welcome. Because the Bible says that we are born in sin and shaped in iniquity. So Victor Hugo said this. He said, the soul that is left in darkness, if the soul is left in darkness, sin will be committed. The guilty one is not he who commits the sin, but he who creates the darkness. So we ain't create this darkness that we are living in, brother M.Reck. You understand? But we become victims of it. So God don't come to judge us based on the sins that we learn from those who we are associated and assimilated with. You understand? He comes to give us a standard and teach us the right way. And then once he teaches you the right way, if you continue to do wrong, then he holds you accountable. But how can you blame a blind man for walking into a tree when he's blind? You follow me? So,
Yes, sir. I want to get into some things you said during your speech.
yes, sir.
You mentioned some names in the music business.
Yes, sir.
Like
Leo
Leo
Cohen.
Cohen
Yes, sir.
and Clyde Davis.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
elaborate?
Yeah, well, you know, we was talking about a relationship that us as black folks have had, you understand, with those who have been in power for a very long time, particularly in the music industry and movies. You know, it's known that white folks, Gentile and Jews, are very prominent as it relates to entertainment. And black folks, we have always had the talent, we have always had the skill, we have always had the know-how and the acumen. You understand? But we always got to go by them. You follow me? They sign the contracts, they are the accountants, they are the lawyers, they are the bankers. And a lot of times they have not done justice by us. They rob us. They don't give us our publishing. You see what happened to Prince? We can go down the hall, we can go down the road in terms of how many of our artists that have been taken advantage of. So Dame Dash now has the book Culture Vultures, where he's exposing it in terms of those who have not had the talent. We got the talent, you understand, but they have had the business wit, and they have taken advantage of us, and they have not done justice by us. So now we're trying to wake our people up, you understand, and inform them, as our brother Dame Dash is doing. He said that the Jews call what we have liquid money because of how easy it goes through our hands and goes into their hands. We know that the black dollar don't circulate for 6 hours in our community, so it's not that we poor, we just poorly organized. But you have those who are knowledgeable and who are wealthy who have taken advantage of the darker people. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is giving us a lesson. He said the 85% are the poison animal eaters, slaves from mental death and power, people who do not know the living God of their origin in this world, and they worship that which they know not what. They're easily led in the wrong direction, but hard to lead into the right direction. Then he said there's 10% who are rich, the slave makers of the poor, who teach the poor lies, to believe that the almighty true and living God is a spook and cannot be seen by the physical eye, otherwise known as the rich, the bloodsuckers of the poor. So many of these prominent executives who own Arista, Interscope, you understand, they have been sucking the blood and the talent of the black artists, R&B, rap. You understand? Whether it's movie, we see Viola Davis, we see the Emmys. You understand? They control it all. But we have the talent. We are the athletes that's on the field, packing these stadiums. But why do we have to die broke and heartbroken? You understand? Once we no longer play, because they're not guiding us right. You understand? In terms of practicing the best business deals with us. You follow me? So we are exposing them today because we have the talent. So now we got to get our own distribution companies. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is trying to teach many of the artists. You get your own distribution company. You control your masters. You own your master. You are the talent. And without you, they cannot survive. So, you know, we're all about exposing those that have been hidden and have taken advantage of us. That is the objective and the aim of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because the Bible says that God's coming is after the working of Satan. And Satan has worked his deception on us long enough, but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has come to sever that unholy alliance, we would say, between us and our former slave masters. So, yes, sir, brother.
Yes, sir, brother. Wow.
But M.Reck, you being a brother, making advances, you understand, in media, you're going to have to go and see some people. You mean, some people might come to you when they see you begin to get prestige and fame and influence. You understand? And they're going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. They always do it. We had BET. You understand? We had many products, black products. They always make us an offer that we can't refuse, and they buy us out. You understand? And many of us sell out the aspirations of our people for money. They have the money. And they know we need money. So they're going to make you an offer that you can't refuse, brother.
You think so?
I know so, brother. That's the modus operandi of our enemies. So when we get influence and when we begin to get powerful and when we begin to get a name, they make us an offer that we can't refuse. They do it all the time, brother. They have done it to many of our black prominent leaders. You understand that whenever they begin to get influence and prestige over the people, they come and make them an offer that they can't refuse. And if they don't accept the offer, then they begin to alienate them and try to marginalize them. You follow me?
Yeah.
You know, so don't take the bait, brother. Oh.
Go
ahead, sir.
Not at all.
Yes, sir.
Now, how important is it to build a black economy?
It's paramount, brother. You know, Booker T. Washington said that a landless race is like a ship without a rudder. He said a landless race is like a ship without a rudder. You understand? A rudder is that which guides the ship. Economics is imperative to our development spiritually and morally as a people. Because Frederick Douglass said that property and money is the only condition upon which any people can rise to the dignity of genuine manhood. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that land is the root of all business because everything you see on top of the earth initially came from the earth. So a lot of times black folk, we think that power is in politics, but politics without economics is symbol without substance. So we have the political clout, but we don't have the economics. You follow me? And those who control the economics, they make demands and they ask things of the politicians that the politicians do. They create policies and legislation and certain laws because they're economically self-sufficient. So we take a lesson from the Jewish people because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us to observe the operations of the white man. He said he's successful. He makes no excuses for his failures. He worked hard in the collective manner. We should do the same. So if we're going to be successful as a people, we got to study the people that have been successful. So when you look at the Jewish community, how did they gain prominence and power? You follow me? They're not protesting and marching like we are. They, through cooperative economics, they unite their dollars. They unite their intellect. Because you got monetary capital and then you also got what is called human capital. Human capital too is the knowledge, you understand, that one has. So we got monetary capital and we got human capital. They unite the two, you follow me? And they got an economic base. And once they got an economic base, then they was able to influence the politicians. As I said earlier, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. It's not all about economics, but in terms of us and our condition, we need economics and we need to be economically self-sufficient. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that, he said, one of the reasons that we are not economically self-sufficient is because our leadership, you understand, they have not looked into it as in-depthly and as serious as they should look into it. You follow me? We're always looking to change policies and laws, but not trying to get us an economic base, you follow me, where we can be independent and we don't have to always go to those who have fed us, clothed us, and sheltered us. So again, Carter G. Woodson said, if the Negro in the ghetto must be eternally fed by the hand that pushes him in the ghetto, he will never have enough strength to get out of the ghetto. You follow me? Yes, sir. So economics is paramount to our rise and our development as a people. Again, it's not all about economics. You understand? We are spiritual people and the root of our problem is spiritual, therefore necessitates a spiritual solution. But when you look at the Lord's Prayer, Jesus said, our Father this day, give us what? Our daily bread. He said bread before he said anything. Because it's hard for a man to love his neighbor or love his brother on an empty stomach. You follow me? It's hard as hell for a man to love his neighbor or God on an empty stomach. So the Bible says if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and you say to them, depart in peace, and you give them not those things which are needful to the body, what good does it profit? So I can feed your mind, but if I can't feed your stomach, then I'm not doing you the proper service. You ain't going to be able to focus on what I'm saying. If you are hungry, you are cold, you don't have clothing. You follow me? But many of us us as a people, black people in particular, we got a mystery God mentality. Where we are waiting on the mystery God to come do for us what we can do for ourselves. So Dr. King said, if a man expects God to do everything while he does nothing, that's not faith, that's called superstition. Yes, sir. We call it stupid stition.
Deep, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Deep, my brother. live on MRecktv.
We live on MRecktv.
So, you know,
sir.
y'all know the MReck room etiquette, hit that like button. You know I gotta do what I do, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Mosque 25, but I'm still doing what I do, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Newark, New Jersey. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
let them know.
Yeah,
Okay.
Newark, New Jersey, brother. A very prominent city as it relates to the history of Islam. We know in 1913, Noble Drew Ali set up his headquarters here. Our brothers and sisters from the Moorish Science Temple. So Newark, New Jersey have always been a very pivotal part as it relates to Islam in North America, Islam growth, Islam development in North America. You know, Newark, New Jersey has always been at the center of that, or one of the cities at the center of the growth and development and propagation of Islam in America, Newark, New Jersey. A lot of deep roots in the city of Newark, New Jersey as it relates to Islam and just the Black Power movement in general. We know Miri Baraka is here. We know the mayor, Ras Baraka, is here, who's very influential as it relates to the Black Power movement, quote unquote, the grassroots movement. You know, so Newark has been a very, very intricate part in terms of the movement and getting our people, you know, to see themselves better and to see their enemies and to improve our condition and our quality of life.
Got you. Now I got a question for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on.
How do you feel about the 5% nation, being that those are our brothers?
No, brother. The 5% nation, we are different branches from the same root, brother.
Right.
Different branches from the same root. The 5% nation, that's our brothers. Those are our comrades in struggle. We have a lot of the same beliefs. We study from the same lessons. Again, it says, what is the duty of a civilized person? To teach the uncivilized people who are savage, civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. Then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad asks, if a civilized person does not perform his duty, what must be done? If a civilized person does not perform his duty with his teaching civilization to others, they must be punished by severe punishment. And then it says in the book of Luke chapter 12 verse 47, that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beat with many stripes. So we have more in common than there's differences. However, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says on page 20 of Message to the Black Man, he said, there's no problem today that is as hard to solve as the problem of uniting the American so-called Negro. He said, we are like a dead man, totally without life, that have lost all love of self and kind and have gone all out in loving our enemies. Then he said that one of the greatest handicaps among the so-called American Negro is that there is no love for self, nor love for our own kind. He said, and this not having love for self and kind is the root cause of hate, dislike, disunity, disagreement, quarreling, snitching, stool picking, fighting, and killing one another. He said, how can we be loved if we have not love for self and our own nation and dislike being a member of our own? And what nation would trust our love and membership? You follow me? He said, men everywhere seeking unity among themselves except the so-called American Negro. But it's because of how we've been reared, taught, and trained by our open enemy. You follow me? He has taught us to hate one another, to not see our brother as our other self. You understand? And the word brother is the word other, so my brother is my other self. So I want for my brother what I want for me. I know Jesus said, love thy neighbor as you love thyself, but you can't love your neighbor until you love yourself first. So this is why our teaching is dedicated primarily to the black man and woman of America, because all the other ethnic groups got their stuff together. But the darker people of the planet Earth, man, we struggling. And you being in hip-hop, you already can see how fragmented that we are as a people. And it's not that we're not going to have differences. I want to say that to the brothers in the hip-hop community. It's not that we're not going to have differences, but we got to stop disagreeing and arguing in front of white folks. Because they take our differences and then they exacerbate it. You see what happened to Biggie and Tupac. Tupac said on the Vibe magazine, there ain't no problem with me and Biggie, it's the media. That's exacerbating it, the tension. It's not us, he said, that's my little brother. There ain't no problem with us, but it's the media that's exacerbating it. You understand? The problem that appears to be between me and him. It ain't no east-west beef. That's what you labeled it. You follow me? So we got to be very, very mindful of disagreeing in front of white folks. And so we can disagree, but hell, let's go in the back and let's disagree. Let's talk it out like men. Right. Stop going on YouTube and Instagram and disagreeing. I know it makes for good entertainment. I understand that. But hell, man, we at war. And we can see that we at war. We just seen the Caucasian just killed the brother and the sister in Kroger's market a few days ago. So, I mean, we at war, brothers and sisters, and we got to know that we are at war. You follow me?
Constantly at war. This is a question elaborate on.
Come on, man, talk to me, brother. M.Reck, we here, brother.
Let's do this. This
Yes,
is
sir.
for my brothers that's incarcerated.
Okay,
so
sir.
we gonna definitely tackle this.
All right, yes, sir.
Why do you think most brothers that's incarcerated, connect to the Islam faith or convert to Islam?
Yes, sir. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that Islam is the nature of the human being. It's the nature. Nature meaning that which we were born to do. You understand? It's the nature of us. But since Satan has dominated this world, the Quran says Allah has given us Islam as a religion. Not that it is that, but Islam is the nature in which man was created. Man was created in peace. Man was created to submit to his Lord. You understand? But the black man, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, is like a sheep. You follow me? Easily led in the wrong direction, but hard to lead into the right direction. So as I said earlier, born in sin, shaped in iniquity. We have assimilated with the Caucasian and those who have enslaved us and robbed us of a knowledge of self. So they have something in psychology called misidentification, or it's called identification with the aggressor. Identification with the aggressor. So if you are aggressed, brother, M.Reck, by somebody, in order to defend yourself, you begin to identify with the person that aggressed you. You follow me? In order to protect yourself, you begin to act like the person that aggressed you. You follow me? And we have identified with those who have been our aggressor, which was the Caucasian. But by nature, we are not unrighteous, and we are not evil, and we are not violent. By nature, we are righteous people. We're everything else by circumstance. So he who builds your habitat influences your habit. We haven't built this habitat that we live in. You understand? So we have become victims of it. So the reason that when brothers go to jail, as we know our brother Malcolm X did, and he converted to Islam, because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, if you leave the black man alone, he will be more godly than ever. So once the black man is in that setting, in that environment where he can read books and he got time to reflect, then his nature begins to take over what God created him to be. He has time to now meditate and think. You understand? He's not preoccupied with TV and sport and play. He got time to reflect on who he is and what he is. And he makes that easy connection because it's a part of his nature. Islam is truth. We are people of truth. We was born in truth. The word universe, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, uni means one, and the root or the etymological of the word verbs means truth. We was born in one truth. You follow me? Truth is our nature. You understand? But falsehood, which is contrary to our nature, it destroys the power of our brain and the fiber of our being. Because we are not of falsehood. We from a God of truth. So we need truth to sustain this vessel. You follow me? So when the black man goes to jail and he got that time to sit and think and meditate, you understand? Then who and what he really is, it begins to come forth in his nature, Islam. And I'm not talking about what the Arabs, quote unquote, think they have copyrighted. So when you talk about Islam, many of our people got the misconception that you're talking about something that started with the Arabs. I gotta humbly disagree with you, because the black man is the original man. You understand? The whole 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth, we dominated it at one time. So we are the original Arabs, and we are the original everything. So we talking about Islam. Islam did not start with Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago, but Islam is the nature of us. The name may be new, but the principles are as old as God himself. So we talk about Islam, we're not talking about nothing that started with the man, but that which came from the Creator himself. Islam meaning peace. Islam meaning submission. Islam meaning submitting and bowing down to the will of Almighty God Allah. That's the Islam we're talking about. Not what those who are quote unquote Arab have tried to copyright and make us think that it belongs to them solely. Hell no. We was Muslims before there was ever this book Quran. We was Muslims. You understand? Before there was ever a Bible, a Quran, or a book, the black man was a Muslim. He was one who submitted his will to God. Before there was a church, the black man was righteous. Before there was a mosque, the black man was righteous. We didn't need books to guide us. You understand? Our every fiber, our every heartbeat, our every pulse beat, we were submitting to God's will, because we are direct descendants from God and we are the people of God. So all of our brothers and the Hebrew Israelites and the 5% and the Christians, we are wrangling over our misunderstanding of truth. But we are all one. One God, one aim, one purpose, one destination. Yes, sir.
That's deep. Wow.
We one, brother M.Reck.
Yeah.
We might got a different strategy in terms that we're using to get free, but damn it, we all trying to get free. We can't sit and be wrangling about, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg, Hell no, we ain't got time for that, brother. We are dying wholesale. You understand? And we don't want to argue, and we don't want to debate over that which is relevant and not germane to our community. I don't want to be talking to you, M.Reck. I'm trying to make you feel like I'm wise. Hell no, brother. We ain't got time for intellectual masturbation. You understand? Or we are entering into this infinite regress and we never find the answer because you think you wiser than me, I'm wiser than you. Hell no, we ain't got no time to be fragmented and fractured. We dying wholesale, brothers.
Facts.
You know?
Kill your ego. You know?
Yeah, kill the ego, man. Listen, let the minister tell us, let go of the damn ego. It's killing us, brother. And I know the black man is ego starved, though. You understand? Because, again, we have been conquered by an open enemy. So we haven't had our day in the sun, as the Honorable like Muhammad said, in 50,000 years. 400 years in particular, we've been here under the foot of our enemy. So we got to live through him. You understand? Go through his mediums of communication. You follow me? You know what that does to a man, because God made or created the man to have dominion and power. And when you are a man that's not in power and you are powerless, man, that destroys you and you are not living up to your full potential. You follow me? So the hormone that the male has is called masculinity. Right? Masculinity. You feel me? Masculinity. But we don't have no mass. Meaning we don't own nothing. So how can you be masculine and you ain't got no mass? You don't own nothing. You follow me? A man is one who produces and creates and builds for himself and his community. And that's why they call us boy. And when we talk about them, we talk about here come the man. Because in our mind, psychologically, he's the man and we are the boy. You follow me? So we got to begin. Yeah, we got to begin to first change the language, change the names by which we call ourselves, by which we refer to ourselves. Hell no, we are the original man. You got man and then you got mankind. You heard of that before, right? Yes, mankind. We are the original man and the Caucasian is mankind. He's a kind of the original man. But we are the original people. You understand? We are direct descendants from Almighty God, Allah, and He came from us. We are His maker and we are His creator. Not creator, but we are His maker. You follow me? He's from us, but He's not natural, and He's not a natural native to this land. He's directly from us, brother. So we the real man, but we just got to stand up, brother M.Reck, and start wreaking havoc on this madness, these misconceptions, these falsehoods that we've been taught for a very long time, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fired up, brother M.Reck. I feel good, brother. I'm feeling good. I'm honored to be on your show. I watch your show.
I'm honored to be here.
I watch your show, brother.
Thank you, my brother.
I really appreciate that Gene deal. You know, everybody don't like it, they don't agree with it, but as I said earlier, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says that the unanswered lie resembles truth. And that truth can withstand the most intense scrutiny and does not fear investigation, but rather invites exploration. So, the Quran says when an unrighteous man brings you news, look carefully into it, lest you harm a people in ignorance, then be sorry for what you did. So if the brother's not telling the truth, then you come and present your counter-argument. You come rebuttal what you saying he's lying about. That's the nature of this thing. Nature of this thing. I know everybody don't like that, but
let me chime on in on that.
Talk to me about it, right?
Ain't nobody yet.
That's not my place, but
I got it. Ain't nobody yet contested Gene Dale's story.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to leave it as that, because, you know what I'm saying, that's a whole nother conversation. But
yes,
as you, like the brother said,
the unanswered lie resembles truth.
There you go.
So I'm not here to advocate anything one way or another. I'm just saying I appreciate it that you, and I know you understand what the brother had to go through, because I can see parallel my leading teacher in terms of telling the truth, and when you are telling your side of the story, what you got to go through, I just appreciate you giving the brother that platform so I can look at it and, you know, judge for myself what I think. I appreciate the work that you're doing, brother. I really do.
Oh, man, they don't like me for giving him a platform. They don't like me, period, for putting the truth out.
It's all right,
though. It's all right. We here.
We here, brother.
You feel me? And we gonna build. I got another question for you,
yes, sir.
brother. This is gonna be one of many.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, like this interview, this is We're not just doing one.
We here.
This one in a minute. No, I'm talking about in terms of, you're gonna be on MRecktv again.
Okay, we here, brother.
You feel me?
We here, that's it.
Alright, so, okay, no problem.
We here, brother.
Hold on 1 second. You know what? I'm gonna get back to that for a minute.
Okay.
Let's go on to the misconceptions that a lot of people, like you got the Holy Quran, you got the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Now, what's the difference?
Well, brother, we believe, first of all, in one God is the proper name of Allah. We believe in the Holy Quran and the scriptures of all the prophets of God. We believe in the truth of the Bible. However, we believe that it has been tampered with. It must be reinterpreted so that mankind will not be snared by the falsehoods that have been added to it. We believe in Allah's prophets, all of Allah's prophets and the scriptures that they brought to the people. We make no distinction. But it's a documented fact that the Bible has been tampered with. That's why you got the King James Version. There's so many Bibles that have been written. You understand? So it's a fact that the Bible has been, I would say, misinterpreted and mistranslated. It's a fact. There's no real difference between the Bible and the Holy Quran. But where the Bible has been tampered with, the Quran comes and corrects where it's been tampered with in those misinterpretations. You follow me?
Can you give me some examples?
Let's just say about what the Bible says about Jesus. See, the Quran gives you clarity on Jesus. The whole him being the Son of God and what it means. You understand the true meaning of it. So where the Bible is misleading because it has been translated by our enemies, the Quran cleans it up. You follow me? Where it talks about the prophet or Noah looking on his daughter, Lot looking on, those things that have been added to the Bible. You understand? The Quran cleans it up and clears it up. You follow me? So there's no real difference. But if the Bible had not been tampered with, then the Quran would not have been revealed. But since the Bible, God's unadulterated word, you understand, was tampered with, then God had to reveal another book. You follow me? To clean up where the Bible is in error. You follow me? But there is truth there. You understand? But you have to be able to discern it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the Bible is like a rattlesnake in the hands of my people because we have not had the true meaning of it. So many things that's figuratively, we take it literal. Literal things, we take it figuratively. You understand? So we are confused by it, and that's why we are not able to use it effectively because we don't understand it. But we believe that Almighty God, Allah, has given to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan the true meaning, understanding of what our people have misunderstood.
Gotcha. We're gonna take a break 1 minute. I think we have some technical issues. Real quick, on the live. They can't hear?
They're saying they're having a difficulty hearing. They can hear it, but not as loud as it should be.
Maybe you gotta turn it up.
Oh, wow. You know what? I know when you was doing the speakings earlier, I turned everything down. That's probably what it is. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Pardon self.
M.Reck.
We here, though. I got the pre-recorded joint. So,
Yes, sir.
hold on, y'all. We live, so I'm going to be moving the camera. Okay. Can y'all hear it now?
Yeah, they good now.
It should be good now. I turned it all the way down. Pardon self. They probably were saying that the whole time, or they just recently?
No, they just recently started
Okay,
saying that.
thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
We're gonna, I need you to elaborate on that because you elaborated early during your speech on Jesus and Joseph being his father.
Yes, sir.
Please elaborate on that.
Yes, sir. Well, many Catholics know it. Many Jews know it. This is why they don't accept Jesus of 2,000 years ago as being the Messiah. They're waiting for the Messiah to come because we believe that the Jesus of 2,000 years ago was only a prophet. You understand? But he prefigured the one that will come 2,000 years after him. So when you read the book of John, Jesus says, I go away. You understand? If I not go away, then the Comforter will not come to you. And the Comforter will come to you in my name. That's in the book of John, the 16th chapter, where he's telling his disciples that he's going to leave them and that one is going to come in his name. You follow me? So Jesus of 2,000 years ago was a prophet. This is why Paul says in his epistles of Paul that he saw Jesus of 2,000 years ago as one out of due season. Because when Jesus was casting the demons or the devils out of the people, they said, why do you persecute me? Because it's not our time yet. You follow me? So the devil was given 6,000 years to rule the people of the planet Earth. Jesus came when he still had 2,000 years yet to go. You follow me? So he was too soon for the destruction of the Caucasian race, of those who he came to condemn. So you see when he was talking to the Jews in the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44, they were rejecting him. And they said, you are the carpenter's son. We are not born out of fornication, because Joseph's biological father, Jesus' biological father is Joseph. You follow me? You can find it in the book of Matthew. When you first open the book of Matthew, the first chapter, they're giving you Jesus' genealogy. Why give Jesus genealogy if he's not from a man?
Please keep elaborating.
He's from a man. He's from Joseph, right? Then the Bible also talks about in the book of Mark that Jesus had 6 half-brothers and sisters, because those was Joseph's children. You follow me? Joseph had already been married and had children already. You follow me? But him and Mary, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was childhood sweethearts. So one time she was by herself. She called on Joseph via the radio in the head. See, telephones are not new. The black man, when we was in our state of righteousness, we can tune in. They called it mental telepathy. So she tuned in on Joseph and called them to her. And them being there a few days, nature took its course. You understand? She became impregnated with a child called Jesus. And this is why when you look in the book of Luke, the 2nd chapter, it talks about Jesus and Mary being what? In the barn. They called it, I forget what they called it the manger, right? And that's where they had Jesus. Because Jesus of 2,000 years ago, biological father is Joseph. Again, many Jews know it, many Catholics know it. It's really kind of common knowledge today. Well, why do you say he's the Son of God? The Bible says in the book of Romans, the 1st chapter, the 2nd verse, that Jesus was of the root of David according to the flesh, but the Son of God according to the Spirit. So not that God is his physical father, but spiritually, he developed Jesus. He guided Jesus to do what it is that Jesus was to do.
Wow.
You understand? And many people know this, brother. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Many people know this. And if they don't, you know it now.
Sure, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Now, my brother wrote this question right here. How do we beat politics and divide and conquer as a people? I'm reading how you wrote it. Shit looking spooky right now. Looking spooky on MRecktv, that question. That's not my question.
How do you beat the politics of divide and conquer as a people? How do we do that?
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, brother. How do we beat the politics, divide and conquer the people? I just said it, well, it's a very simple formula. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when you know yourself, you'll love yourself, and when you love yourself, you'll do for yourself. A lot of us who claim to know ourselves, we don't know ourselves enough. You understand? And a lot of times we are too individualistic with our knowledge of self. But it's never about the individual, but it's about the whole. So if you see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 1995 on Phil Donahue, they tried to get the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to condemn some of our people. But if you see him, he never condemns our people in public. He said, whatever I have to say to my brother, I'll say to him. You understand? Because he knows the enemy that we're dealing with. He always tried to exacerbate our differences and heighten the tension. Look, he said this. Look, he said that. He said this. You understand? So we got to be wise with who we're dealing with. You follow me? Yeah. So when we love ourselves, we know ourselves, and we'll begin to do for ourselves, brother. We just got to love ourselves enough not to let any weapon formed against us to prosper. And one of the weapons that they use to keep us divided, right, is they know that we suffer from self-hate. You follow me? Self-hate, right? And we all want to be the one. That's natural, brother. In fact, to want to be the eye, to want to be the head, that's natural. But you got to know that everybody is unique. God has given everybody their own unique talent and their own abilities. And some of us are going to be better than others. Let me debunk this right now. Stop thinking that we are all created equal. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, no, that's not correct. You understand? We are not all created equal. Some of us are taller than others. Some of us are faster than others. Your strength might be math. Mine might be language, art. So we are not all created equal. We are created equally. You follow me? We are different. Some of us are better than others in certain things. We're not all equal. You understand? Some of us are faster than others. Some of us are smarter than others. Some of us rap better than others.
Right.
You understand? You might can play football, but I'm a basketball man. You follow me? We are all different and unique. No two blades of grass are the same. You follow me? So stop looking at your brother with enmity and hatred. You follow me? And envy because he's better than you or something else. But if you help him and aid him in doing what it is that he's doing, then God will show you your own talent. But we take the word jealousy. In the word jealousy is the word jail. Because jealousy is like a prison. You follow me? You become imprisoned with being infatuated with somebody else's ability, somebody else's talent.
So,
You understand? Stop being jealous and envious and want for your brother and sister what you want for yourself. And we got a lot of hating that goes on in our community. I'm sure you got some haters in rec. You doing your thing, YouTube. You starting to pop now. You got others that feel like in order to, I would say, heighten their brand, they gotta
come at me.
come on. No, you ain't gotta do that. You understand? If
Don't
you
go
are the
rise to
man,
the throne, man.
if you are the
You can
man,
sit on the throne with me.
yo,
You come at me,
come on
right?
now.
You feel me?
That's what
Right?
I'm talking about.
Be
Stop
all
hating.
kings, you know what I
Stop
mean?
hating. Stop hating. You
Huh?
understand? Congratulate your brother. Help your brother.
Exactly.
And that's what Dame Dash was saying in terms of the reason I told her, bro, we gotta come together. We can have our own distribution.
I've been trying to
company.
tell him this.
Yeah, but
I've been trying to tell him this a long time.
you know, everybody's not gonna come, brother. But you help those that you can, and those that don't, you just let them be. You pray that God bless you.
Let's do this. Now, how do people eat right
Well,
and better their health?
it first starts with knowledge, brother. It starts with knowledge. Knowledge. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that desire feeds the will. We had a lecture we did here called the agriculture that produced nigger culture. You understand? See, nigger culture is also produced by agriculture, meaning what we eat. So the Honorable Louis Farrakhan teaches us that he who controls your kitchen controls your revolution. And the reason there's not a lot of revolution in the quote-unquote nigger culture is because we have not been taught to control our kitchen. We only taught to get our food from Mr. Chin. You follow me? So they have what they call nutritional psychology, where they show how food affects your mental. You follow me? Because it's the blood in the body that cleanses the cells of the mind. But if the blood is toxic, then your brain is going to be toxic. You follow me? So what we have to do is, and today, brother M.Reck, there's really no reason that anybody should be ignorant as it relates to getting the knowledge that they need to better themselves. You got Instagram, Twitter, it's all online. But the Bible says in the book of Hosea, the 4th chapter, the 6th verse, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. It says, because they have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So it's not that we don't know, but we are now, this is what you call willful ignorance, where we have an inkling of an idea, you understand, but we are just choosing to disregard it because it's not in line with what we want to do. So it just starts first, brother M.Reck, with seeking out the knowledge. It's all over the place in terms of, because you are an individual, brother M.Reck, so there's certain things you might need. You might be vitamin C deficient. So there's certain things that you might need, but one thing for sure, two things for certain, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the less we eat, the better off we'll be. So here in the Nation of Islam, we only eat 1 meal a day. A lot of them, man, you crazy. I can't look. We all thought like that when we first came. But your stomach needs time to rest. Your stomach is not going to be here forever. It needs time to rest. Your blood needs time to detoxify, purify itself. And everything that you eat, brother M.Reck, whether it's fruit, it has a degree of toxicity in it. You understand? So you got to give your body time to digest the toxicity and break it down. But imagine you eating 3 things. You eating in the morning, you eating in the afternoon. Look at all that buildup that's in your body, and it is not even the best of food we eating today. You follow me? So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has book 1 and 2 of how to eat the lid. And it's not hard. It's basically how bad you want it. How bad you want it, brother M.Reck? How bad you want to live?
I want it bad.
All right, man, you
I
gotta,
got a lot
you know,
to accomplish. You know?
And then you start off slow. But if you might be like, all right, man, I know what I normally eat in the morning. I'm just going to have, trust me, brother, there's a brother named, I forget, big bodybuilder. And he's on YouTube, but he talked about, I think his name Rashid or Rashad, he talked about how he now eating 1 meal a day. This brother a hawk. You understand? Because see, I felt better, I felt more clear. You understand? Mentally you'll feel more clear. Your perception will be better. Your skin will be better. You'll begin to look more youthful because it's bad food that ages us and make us look old. So when they see Louis Farrakhan, they say, damn, how he look that good? Because he's been taught The Divine Diet by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. How to eat to live. A lot of us live to eat. You understand? And our mouth becomes our graveyard. You follow me?
Definitely. Now, let's do this, because I know we got a little bit of time left.
Yes, sir.
What is your mission? Like right now, what is your current mission right now? Because I want you to get your message across,
Yes, sir.
across to MRecktv, subscribers and,
Yes, sir.
and the viewers.
Well, again, Brother M.Reck, I'm a follower, a student, an acolyte of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's our general, that's our guide. And my mission is to help him, to aid and assist him, and his mission is to aid and assist our people exclusively. We're here to help the whole of humanity because the whole of humanity has been deceived by Satan. But us exclusively, I mean the black man and woman, we need help and we need it badly. You follow me? So my aim and objective is to get the message out that will enlighten our people so that we can be a better people, that we can make better decisions, that we can love one another. It's not hard, Brother M.Reck. It's not it's not hard, it's not recondite, it's not something that you gotta be an astrophysicist to understand. You can just look at our condition and know that we need help. We know that we are in bad shape, but a lot of us don't know what is the cause of it. You follow me? So if you go to a doctor and you don't know, he don't know your history, meaning your family history, he can't properly assess you. He first asks you, has anybody in your family been suffering from this? And then once he sees your family history, he can better serve you. You follow me? So my job and objective is to help the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, to teach and train our people, to guide them. You understand? To elevate our moral standards, to help our people unite in one common brotherhood, to have protection, respect for our women. You follow me? To have equal education for our children, build our own schools, hospitals, black banks. You understand? Black clothing companies. We're trying to get our people to understand that today is the day where God wants us to be independent. He no longer wants us tied and connected to our former slave master, which has been our detriment and will continue to be our detriment unless we begin to do something for ourselves. You ain't got to join the Nation of Islam. You ain't got to join the mosque. You understand? In order to be independent, in order to buy black, in order to help black, in order to love black. You follow me? But that's our objective, is to enlighten our people and to guide our people so that they can be a better them. You understand? The better you, I can be a better me. Get this message out of freedom, justice, and equality, brother. That's our job, brother.
Got you. Now, cause we gotta wrap up. You got things to do and all that.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have social media where people
Yes,
can
sir.
follow
Yes,
you?
sir.
They can give them that information?
I'm on Instagram, Abdul Haqq Muhammad. I'm on Facebook as well, same thing, Abdul Haqq Muhammad. And I'm on Twitter, defending Khan on Twitter. And also we have a school here at Muhammad University of Islam. If you would like to donate, you can go to www.muinj.org. You can also go to Instagram, our Instagram page for our school, which is MUI New Jersey. That's MUI New Jersey. If you would like to donate, you can go to www.muinj.org. Or if you would like to even enroll your child in the school, we have about 40 students. We go from K to 11. Man, awesome staff we have here. Our director is 29 years old, Brother Khalid Muhammad, who is a graduate of Rutgers University, has a degree in engineering and mathematics. Brother M.Reck, Brother Lewis shared with you some of the highlights and footage.
Yes,
and again, you can see some of our footage on Instagram if you go to MUI New Jersey Instagram page. We up there as well.
I'm gonna put the links in the
Yes, sir.
description.
Yes, sir.
You know.
I appreciate you,
Oh, I
brother.
got you. I
M.Reck.
appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. I really
Thank
do,
you, brother. What's something else? Oh, let them know the Mosque.
Yeah, we here at Muhammad's Mosque, number 25, 170 Littleton Avenue. We're here every Sunday. Sunday doors open at 10:30. Meeting starts at 11. We're also here every Wednesday. Doors open at 7:30. Meeting starts at 8. And every Friday we here. We have our Jumu'ah prayer service. It starts at 1 o'clock. And then we have our meeting. Doors open at 7. Meeting starts at 7:30. So brothers and sisters, if you in Newark, New Jersey area, or East Orange, Irvington, Broadway, you would like to come and be a part of our meeting and our service, the doors are open. So please come visit us and check us out. And you can go on NOI.org as well to see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, purchase any books that you would like to read, learn more about the Nation of Islam, you can go to NOI.org, and you can go to the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan. He has an Instagram page, Louis Farrakhan, Twitter page, Louis Farrakhan, a Facebook page, Louis Farrakhan as well. So, again, thank you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you. Give them the street once again.
We on 170 Littleton Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. That's 170 Littleton Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. Please bring your friends and your family. I'll say this. I know we got a lot of wise brothers and sisters out there. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us that the hardest person to teach is the one who thinks that he or she already knows. And that person will always use what they think they know to argue against what you're trying to teach them.
Jeez.
So, thank you.
Facts.
Please come.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate you, brother M.Reck.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, my brother.
So, shouts to the Rec Marvel too.
Rec
man.
Mob, yes sir.
Y'all know the M.Reck group etiquette that like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm off
Sit down
this.
again.
Y'all know the M.Reck room etiquette. Hit that like button. I'm off this. And
Get that, y'all get
yeah,
ready to with the
you
sound.
can shut the live down.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
Thank you,
give
my
each
brother.
other a hand.